The hell is going on, AmeriCANS? Jericho Green here with you once again, and I'm not sure how loud it is, but if you're hearing like some wind blowing and shit, it's because I got the AC on. All right, today it is a blistering 80 degrees. Well, Jericho, that ain't shit. I live in Devil's Butthole, Arizona. Well, I don't. I live by the ocean. It does not get hot here. So when it gets anything past 75, we lose our fucking minds. So there. Anyway, before I get started on this illustrious video, I do want to once again say thank you, man. You know, people donating to my PayPal, they're buying my gear, the green gear on Teespring. And, you know, a couple weeks ago where that bullshit happened at the Gilroy Garlic Festival, people came through. I sold like over $200 worth of stuff in one day. All of it went to the families of the victims. You know, thank you, man. It's never lost on me. I always, if anybody sends me, you know, they donate me money through PayPal and they leave an email, I email and thank every single one of them, man. This shit is real. You know, I am just like you, a working man trying to make it in this world. And when people give me some of their hard-earned money, they carve out money from themselves, their families, or whatever the fuck they got going on. That shit's huge, and it never ceases to amaze me. So thank you very much. Now, surprise, surprise, everybody. Americans are showing up to work in Mississippi. All the jobs that were left vacant because Ice Baby came through and did their thing. Guess who showed up yesterday in big numbers? Americans. We've been fed this bullshit since George W. Well, they're just doing the jobs that Americans won't do. Bullshit. Illegals are doing the jobs that Americans can't do because we're not going to work for pennies. We don't live 5-6 generations in one house. That's not how we roll. We need money. So they don't hire Americans because we're not going to work for that bullshit. It's not because the work's too hard. I've heard guys who are contractors, painters, and shit like that. Oh, man, I can't find any hard-working Americans. Well, I don't know where you're dipping your bucket, what well you're dipping that bucket into, but there are hardworking Americans out there. Shit, I'm one of them. People watching this video, they're one of them. I've been working hard since I was a damn kid. Collecting cans, cutting grass, pulling weeds, ironing clothes, selling Hostess and shit. My best friend, shout out to my boy Leo. His grandma, they live next door. She had an upholstery business. So in the summertime, who's going in people's hot-ass back rooms getting couches and chairs to be reupholstered and shit? Me. America's full of hard workers. How do you think this country got so damn great that people want to risk life and limb to come here? Americans did it. Americans are working in those fields, working in those hotels and restaurants, walking across steel beams, building skyscrapers and shit. Who do you think was doing it before? You guys ever read a John Steinbeck book? People left the Dust Bowl to come out west to get work, to work in the fields, to pick produce. The Bracero program. Don't act like hard work didn't exist until illegals got here. I hate that shit. If you take them away, Americans will fill the void. They're doing it in Mississippi. The parking lot was packed with people there to get jobs. Black, white, Mexican. People want to work. It's in our DNA. It's part of being a human. We need to produce. We need to be productive. We need to bring something to the fucking table. But don't sit there and tell me that Americans are fucking lazy. Who do you think's doing the work? Well, we got 20, 25, 30 million illegals here? Well, there's 325 million of us. What are the rest of us doing? Working hard. You see this? Salinas. I'm near the courthouse. You see all these cars parked here? You think all those Americans are in there kicking it? They're working. So don't think that illegals are the end-all be-all when it comes to hard work. They like you to think that they're better than us, that they work harder than us just because they're foreigners. Bullshit. We got it like that too. We made this country what it is today. We made it the beacon for the rest of the world. Shit, my dad, he grew up in Oklahoma. You know what his job was when he was 12? When he was barely getting hair on his little nuts, you know what his job was? He worked at a slaughterhouse. So the cows would be up on the top floor. They get one of those steel rods to the dome. These trap doors open up, they fall into this room, and then guys drag the bodies out and start hacking it up into different cuts of meat. Well, guess what my dad's job was at 12 years old? He had to take a sledgehammer and crack them over the head if they didn't die from the steel rod. 12. You want some cow brains splattered on your face at 12? Don't give me that they work hard on us and do the jobs we won't do. Man, fuck you. That's some globalist, elitist bullshit that they want to feed you. Well, if you Americans just worked harder, they wouldn't come here. Bullshit. You're paying these people shit, and they're the only ones who will work for it. Explain all the people in the parking lot of those poultry factories. It was Coke Industries or something. This is the particular facility they were focusing on in this article. It was full of Americans wanting to work. Young Americans wanting to work. The ones they tell you are the most lazy. The ones they tell you just won't do it. They were out there waiting to get jobs so they can get paid, so they can provide for their families, so they can provide for their communities. I'm so tired of that shit. They're not harder working than we are simply because they come from somewhere else. If our country was full of lazy pieces of shit, why would they come here? Because our country wouldn't be as great as it is if that were the case. Are there lazy pieces of shit? Hell yeah. You ever see that movie Half-Baked? The guy on the couch? I knew somebody like that. He had some dumbass girlfriend who would go to work and make all the money for him, and this fool would sit on the couch smoking bud all day long. Yes, lazy turds exist. But for you to sit here and tell me that our country is so full of them that we have to import cheap labor? No, we don't have to. The owners of these companies and these corporations want it that way. More money in, less money out. I get it. It's business. I understand that. But at what cost? At what cost? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the quality of our country worth it? Because that's what happens. You think these people come here? They used to be that way. They would come up here during the seasons to work, and they would leave in the off season. But that's not how it works. They stay. They have kids here, they take over towns and turn it into the third world, yes, I'm about to say this, shitholes that they came from. Don't fucking lie to me, let's be real. They don't come here and assimilate because they don't work for it. If you don't work for it, you won't give a shit. Because you didn't put in what it takes to get it. You don't appreciate it. So since they didn't have to work to get in our country, they don't appreciate it. Am I saying some shit that's never been said before? So I was glad to see that. I was glad to see them show these globalist, elitist pieces of shit that what they've been trying to sell us since George W. is fucking false. We're some of the hardest working people on earth. How do you think this country got so damn good? Luck? We think we're throwing coins in a fucking fountain making wishes? We went out there and made it happen. We had a ranch growing up. I was up at 5:30 in the morning slopping hogs. Those motherfuckers ate before me. Their bellies were full before mine. I'm up before the fucking sun. Don't feed me that shit. Now let me get over here and pick up my lovely son from his second day of preschool. Let me go get Junior. Which I'm not happy about because I miss our 3 hours we have in the morning on my days off. But that's another video. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.